Hello, girlies. Welcome to another episode of Bunny and the Beast. I am joined again by my grandmother of mess, Bunny Galore. How are you?
I'm very well, darling. How are you?
I am fantastic, as always.
Good. Well, you look amazing. So, Sex and the City. So it's you finally managed to watch the entire run.
So
I
think the space, it must be about 2 months it took me. Because I didn't want to rush it, and because I knew it meant so much to you and a lot of people. I was like, okay, I need to actually give this the time to actually digest it all. So I watched it all in canon. So I've watched the first 6 series, then the 2 movies, and then I finished And Just Like That the other day.
And you finished
Finished it.
End of season 2.
Absolutely finished it, and I'm obsessed.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Sex and the City, oh my God, it's iconic. It is so... I don't know why it took me so long to get to watch it, because it's so good.
But I think the trouble, it's a bit like Buffy as well. I think there's been so many shows that kind of impersonate it since, that you feel like it's like going back to the source material slightly.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel because you've got like iZombie and things like that, which is basically just Buffy but with different cast.
Yeah.
And you go, so I can understand why people don't go, and especially if it's, the fashion, although I still think the fashion stands up incredibly well.
Yeah.
Where there were some shows it really dates, but you think, obviously not season 1 of Sex and the City, that is a bit different. That feels almost like 80s.
No. Sarah Jessica Parker should never have short hair. It ages her horrendously.
Yeah, and long dark hair as well. I don't know if that's something. Is that something to do with the actual real Carrie Bradshaw? Is that something to do?
I don't know. Actually.
Is that because she's impersonating her? I've never thought that until this very
no,
second.
Neither have I.
I just thought, is that because it's
but
based
SJP
on
with her long blonde hair just suits her so
Yeah,
well. I think
I
it just
love
suits her face. I think when she has short hair, I think it makes her face look longer. Or
yeah, it does a bit. I don't mind it when it's kind of straighter, and I think there's probably some extensions in there to make it bigger.
Yeah.
But she needs volume. She needs kind of I said, why? I can't have flat hair. I can't wear a wig like Christopher Versace. I need to I need to have volume in there.
Christopher Versace needs to have something in there though. She's got nothing.
Oh yes, that's true.
Personality, persona. Don't even know her.
Yeah.
Anyway, love you, Crystal.
I can't possibly comment on that.
So yes, the first 6 series of Sex and the City was a ride and a half.
So can you imagine that Queer as Folk comes after that? Because it comes I think during season 2, I think.
Yes, because Queer as Folk's 99, I think.
Yeah, so and that was a game changer in the sense of like how obviously gay characters were shown on TV.
Yeah.
And people, I think with both those shows, why am I linking them? And I don't know if Russell was inspired by Sex and the City, but maybe it certainly might have got commissioned because of Sex and the City.
Okay.
But talking frankly about sex and showing it, and people having actually, as people did in real life, was not a thing.
Yeah.
There's a show called This Life as well, which is kind of with a lot of actors come from for that show. But which is I think 97, which is kind of similar. So it was kind of that's like a load of law I would say students then.
Yeah.
People working in that, solicitors and things living together. Shaky camera. That was their motif, as it were. So around that time, it became suddenly fashionable to talk like people normally do. But you're dealing with a lot of big issues throughout the whole of Sex and the City, which now seem a little bit. I think that's the only criticism I would say about it. Is it seems like they use the T word sometimes. But that was what people said.
Yes,
back then,
it's
obviously, but it's a bit painful watching it now.
Yes, watching with the 2023 mind, you go. A lot of it stands up, and a lot of it still holds up to today. Like I still think,
pretty much.
Not just women, but I think obviously I don't have the experience because I'm not a woman. I don't identify as such, but. I think it's the themes and topics still relate today, but I think our language is much better and it's much more inclusive and it's much more diverse. So we wouldn't say words like the T word, and we wouldn't have the episode where they say bisexuality is just a stepping stone to gay. That wouldn't exist now. That wouldn't happen.
I have to say though, darling, we wouldn't say that, but I would say about 80% of the population still do.
Yeah. But I don't think if it was
not the fashionable, the sort of enlightened side of people don't.
Yeah.
But I'd still say about 80% of people say exactly the same thing.
Oh God.
It's just that, and that doesn't get shown on TV because they don't want to show a bad example. Totally still happens.
Yeah.
Totally still does. Shouldn't.
Yeah.
And things will move on, I hope. And I think the kids are different now. But I think, yeah, unfortunately, it's still the same thing.
My favourite word from watching the series, though, now is pusita. I literally say it like 4 times a day. Pusita. Samantha's little stint as a lesbian.
That's so wild, isn't it? That whole, like, did she run out of men?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But kind of completely believable as well. It's the whole throwing the plates thing when they break up as well. It's absolutely.
It's so good. And it's interesting because I always was like, oh, Samantha just likes to shag around, but she does like to shag around. But I didn't realize she had so many big relationships throughout the series because she has the guy, James with the small dick.
Yes. Which would have been the love of her life. It wasn't that. It's like, the comedic
is it in
scene,
yet? It's in. Oh no.
Well, yeah. And then the guy with too big a penis.
Yes.
Who am I, Goldie Cox?
And then she had the really rich guy who was a massive player.
Yes. The hotel owner.
Yes.
Yes. Oh God. Yes.
I just watched it. I should know this.
Same. I'm on those episodes. So I've been having a rewatch as well. So for those who don't know, it's a show that ran from 1998 to 2004, came back with 2 movies, one in 2008, one in 2010, and then a sequel series called And Just Like That, which is the kind of one of the sayings that Carrie does. It's involving 4 women. One is a writer for a newspaper writing a column called Sex and the City, and her 3 friends. And they're kind of archetypes. And I think we all judge ourselves by these archetypes. So are you a Carrie, which is an overwrought kind of, sort of intellectual kind of fashionista, or are you Samantha, who's the oversexed, not predator, but she's not predatory in that way, but
she's very sexually liberated.
Very sexually liberated. Are you a Charlotte, which is kind of like the goody-goody, hopeless romantic and a goody-goody?
Yeah,
she's not a goody because she's quite wild, sexy.
I just want to be fucked, I just really want to be fucked. And this episode 3, someone goes up to her and it's like, you got a nice cunt. It's like,
say that to Charlotte.
Yes.
And then you got Miranda, who is
jaded
and a lawyer, a New York lawyer.
Yes.
Very, very 90s New York.
Yes.
Very, very 90s New York. But throughout the series, gets into a serious relationship with a bartender and has a baby with him, so becomes a mother, and and control.
Steve,
and it's
I love Steve.
Cute ass as well,
right?
Really cute,
yeah,
really cute guy. I think that's what's offended a lot of people on Just Like That, the treatment of the Steve character.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole. I still think I am more Charlotte than all of them.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, completely.
I don't think I'd become Jewish for a man. I don't think I would change. I don't think I'd become a religion. I don't think I'd become a religion. I don't think I would take up religious beliefs or something to be with a man. I'd be like...
That's the only thing that I don't like about in the story arc of the show. I've just got to those episodes again.
Yeah.
Because you've inspired me to do a rewatch.
Yeah.
I'm just getting to the end of series 6. That's in a bit I think is so out of character and slightly a bad message.
Yeah.
Is that she becomes Jewish for a guy and then stays with the religion when they break up. And I'm a bit like, that's a bit much.
It feels like the reason why I don't like Grease. I don't like Grease because the moral is change everything about yourself for a boy to like you.
Yeah.
But I think Charlotte did it out of love, and she was like, this feels right. And she adjusted her instincts, and it was right.
I think what it was missing was the scene where there should have been a scene when she becomes invested in it.
Yeah.
And falls in love with the religion. And so it kind of made it look like she was only doing it because of
that's
convenience.
Very, yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a very true.
And I think there should have been a scene where she was like, going, "Oh, I'm really loving it." Because and I hate the fact she has to give up Christmas.
Yeah.
I know most of my Jewish friends all do Christmas, so it's
even Harry says that.
Yeah.
Loads of Jews have Christmas trees.
Yeah, and that annoyed me that she's kind of like sacrificing things and also because at the time I think perhaps, isn't this weird? I mean, Harry is a great looking guy. But he's not traditionally like square jawed because they'd always cast very beautiful guys.
Yes.
And Trey, her first husband, is played Oh my goodness.
Kyle
MacLachlan from
yes, Desperate Housewives
and Twin Peaks. So but he's always incredible at playing. Twin Peaks is probably only hero role I think he does.
Yeah,
maybe June as well, the original June, but he does play kind of off kilter, looking beautiful, but kind of being sort of either not evil, but
something untoward
about them.
Something that's just a bit off.
Yeah.
I think he does that very well, especially in Desperate Housewives.
With Desperate Housewives and I suppose Sex and the City, I think they're only supposed to be there for say 6 episodes, and somehow because everybody loves him. In my head, this is the theory I have that everybody on the show love them so much that they end up staying seasons longer than they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So the character does end up. With Trey and with Desperate Housewives, they go through so many changes. Awesome, that's it. They go through so many changes because they just want to keep the character around.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Spike on Buffy. It's kind of like they keep them around.
Yeah, but also it adds a bit more stake to the main plot point.
Yeah, totally. It's only when you watch it again in retrospect, you go like, okay, that's really veering out of character now. That's completely different to where you started.
Well, speaking out of character, so the first 6 series are fantastic. Movie 1... absolutely love it.
Oh, incredible.
Obsessed.
Incredible movie.
Like, I put a bird on my head.
Yeah.
That was a bird. I thought it was feathers. It was a bird. It was beautiful. It's basically season 7.
It is, isn't it?
And then Sex and the City 2 feels like the movie that it should be. It should just be a soul movie. Everyone seems to hate it, but I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
I take it for what it is, and I'm like, it's very entertaining.
Yeah. Well, I think people think it's politically incorrect, which it is.
Yes.
But it's entertaining way. And there is a trope in turning a TV show into a movie that goes from the 60s onwards, that you take the cast of well-loved characters and the well-loved location that they're in and the situations in and put them on holiday.
Yes.
So you get Are You Being Served? The movie is set on on a Spanish holiday.
Yes.
Not most of it's not in the department store where the show is based.
Yeah.
Holiday on the Buses. Obviously, there's been loads of On the Buses movie. I'm using those films, and they are very silly. Yeah. But as an example, it happens a lot. A lot of Christmas. I remember Birds of Feather Christmas specials. They would go suddenly to Hollywood, and it's like, well, that's lovely for the cast and crew. It's not really relatable. Because the reason you want to see it is only Fools and Horses, but always they'd end up in like Cherbourg or something weird. And it's like, well, you want to see them do Christmas in where they normally do, not in a lavish location.
It is interesting for them to go to a place in the Middle East where the whole series is about women being sexually free and sexually liberated and loving their sexuality, to go to a place where it's so repressed, especially at that time. I'm sure it's much more further along than it was. It's a really interesting...
I keep on seeing photographs from earlier, like 60s and 70s, and I felt it was actually much more freer.
Oh.
I keep on seeing all these random photographs and going, oh, did it go back or something at some point? Did it get more repressed like Victorian era or something?
Well, if we're looking at our current political climate, then yes, probably.
We are about to have a wave of that, yeah.
But yeah, so going on from characters who don't resemble themselves. So because I watched it all in canon, I didn't find And Just Like That as offensive as everyone else did. I think 'cause I was watching it all and I was already invested in the character.
Yes,
Miranda is a shell of herself in that show because in what universe from 6 series and 2 movies would Samantha throw everything away for one person, redo her entire character, entire personality for a person?
Miranda, not Samantha.
Let's say Samantha.
She said Samantha.
Oh, I meant Miranda. In what world would Miranda do that?
Yes.
So the whole storyline with her and Che Diaz and her moving to LA to go be with her, I was like, that's not Miranda at all.
No, it's not. I think
and Che Diaz is the devil.
Everybody really dislikes that character. And
I think a more interesting plot point is I think it's nice to have Che Diaz in there. I think it's probably not I think it's probably poorly written.
Yeah.
Not the actor's performance.
Not the
but they are fantastic.
Yeah,
they're a fantastic Broadway actor as well, and they were in Monty Python.
Yeah, Spamalot.
Yeah, and their voice is incredible. I think Che Diaz would have been a better side role in doing it brings Carrie into the podcast world and then gets a podcast, but when Che gets their show, that should be it. I think a more interesting storyline for Miranda would be for her to end up in a lesbian love affair with her professor.
Yes, that probably would have been
because they're more alike.
Academically alike. I think Miranda going out with a stand-up comic is a little bit of a stretch. I think. I suppose because we've not seen, it made it feel like from 2010 to 2022 when season 1 came out, it felt like about 40 years had gone past. It was suddenly, they suddenly seemed too old, and I know we're a little bit stuck in our heads at how young they were, but also those women were like, they're pioneers.
Yeah.
They're not like, they suddenly were going, what's the internet? That was kind of the vibe. And it's like, this feels a bit, a bit unrealistic. But then you've got to give them issues and dramas to get over. So what are you going to create? You've got to,
Yeah, and it's adding... I hate the term wokeism because I just think woke is... people use it as a negative term, but I think it's a really positive thing to be praised. You show them being thrown these things that are very 2023, very Gen Z and very current, that to people who are traditionalists or very conservative, like your Charlottes and etc., who aren't clued up on the terminology or the experiences, you see them go, oh, crap, how do I learn and deal with this and adapt to it? And you see Charlotte really adapt, which is beautiful, especially in
Charlotte
terms of...
Charlotte really rolls with that, doesn't it? Yeah, she can be, but
And just like that does seem like Sex and the City, but everyone gets their diverse sidekick.
Yes, they do, suddenly, don't they? It's a little bit like...
Which is great, seeing that representation. It's a shame that it didn't happen back then, but obviously it's a reflective of the time. But like Seema, Naya, Che, and then the really beautiful one, I can't remember her name, Charlotte's friend who's stunning.
Stunning.
And she's an amazing actress.
Yeah, beautiful. And a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. She's just, I'm just in awe of whatever she's wearing as well. And
make the train as long as you... Do whatever you want with the train, and the train is literally the length of a full block in New York. That shot was amazing.
Beautiful shots, isn't it?
In what again? Sorry, a little rant. In what universe would Carrie Bradshaw let who's going to the Met Ball let an unknown design her gown? And why would she let her wear this gown that looks like a Matalan duvet spread?
I know. You would have more fittings than that, wouldn't you? Because it takes months and months.
We're beyond the day.
It's obviously just a way to get her into the wedding dress from the first movie.
Yes.
But without the bird, though, I think. Is the bird there? I can't remember.
The bird is there.
The bird is
because she opens the box and moves the paper, and there's the bird.
Yeah, yes.
It was a bird.
She just wears like a cloak over the top of it. That's it.
Yes, because the Smoke designed a coat as well and the dress.
That's right, yeah.
But the dress didn't fit.
Yes.
And there was like a seamstress illness or something going on at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Carrie Bradshaw, she is just a writer. It's not just because it's the TV show, and but she, she's not an A-list Hollywood star.
Yeah.
So therefore, maybe a normal person would, in a world, not have as many fittings as an A-lister would do.
Yes, but also think right now in that plot line, Carrie Bradshaw is a gajillionaire.
Oh, she is, isn't she? Yes, she is.
Minted beyond belief.
Yeah,
because she's a very successful author, a successful podcaster. She had, I don't know how much money she would have earned from her books, but she would have inherited a lot of money from Big. Yeah, Big. That's where the money came from.
That's true. She does.
So
now she's very
very wealthy. Hence why she can afford that 4-bedroom place for her and Aidan, for Aidan to be there.
That was such a lovely. I really love that ending because it kind of relationship wise. She has.
Well, this is all spoiler, but we should have done a spoiler alert at the beginning of the
episode. Huge spoiler alert, yeah. So the storyline throughout the entire show is that she has a relationship with a character called Mr. Big, who is eventually revealed at the end of the series as his name's John. But
John James Preston.
But for a long time, you don't know his name. I completely forget that sometimes. But they're very clever at just slightly. They use the nickname of Mr. Big because he's a big shot.
Yeah.
And he is a dick, really, to her for most of the show.
Also, and just like that.
Yeah. Which is the bit that I thought you'd find interesting going from the movies where they're very much in love and they get married. I know they have a breakup and they kind of get back together again. But the roller coaster, and he's not in, I'd say, about 50% of the show, if not more. He's only probably at about 40% of the episodes, I think.
Of Sex and the City.
Of Sex and the City, this show. And she has other big relationships. One of the other big ones, which they break up and they get back together and they break up again, is Aidan, and he's come back in the new show. And I think I'm Team Aidan.
Do you?
Yeah, in the real world, But I don't think I saw season 1. I think I skipped the setup of Mr. Big.
Oh, okay.
So I came in with season. I did watch it. A bit like Buffy. I kind of watched it in retrospect.
Yeah.
So I didn't get what was so special about Big for a long time. Now I do in the bigger picture.
Though I watched the first movie and when Carrie and Big are no, not the first movie, the second movie, and they're living together, but not in their penthouse. Oh, and my week away in the beautiful places me and Rand were staying in, every room we went into would go, "Hi, I live here." Every room, "Hello, I live here."
Yeah. By the way, seeing that both the movies in the cinema, that first entrance, "Oh, I live here" line when she sees the estate agent showing them around their penthouse, and then the reveal of the closet, that when the closet's rubbish, and then when they move in, he's built her a closet. The audible gasp, I think, is the loudest I've ever heard in a cinema.
Bigger than most London apartments.
I know. It was a physical gasp, but it was just before the crash happened, financial crash happened. So I think that's why the movie is a little bit, we've downscaled, because it was a little bit, money wasn't so much in fashion, a bit like post-80s.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But into movie 2, they're sat in their new apartment and they're just sat there not talking. And I go, actually, what do you two have in common? Like, what do Carrie and Big talk about?
Yeah, what do they talk about?
What are they bonded over apart from colouring and never staying inside the lines?
Never stay inside the lines, darling.
I don't think that...
I don't stay on the page, let alone inside the lines.
They're in different books most of the series.
But you're right. What do they actually have in common? What connects them? I think the chase connected them for a long time.
Yeah.
I think. Which is, that's a can of worms none of us should open too much.
No.
If someone says no enough times, you just chase them because it's your ego, and
when you're told no, you want it more.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. So, open worms everywhere.
So I do think maybe Carrie and Aidan do have more of a connection.
Yeah, they do.
I did really enjoy the new characters and just like that, but I only kind of enjoyed them in relation to Carrie.
Yes. I think all the new characters are fun. They work. I don't mind season 1.
Yeah.
But I understand it's like the Unmade's third movie where, again, spoilers, Big dies. And that was a big plot point, but that's quite a lot to try to then get over. It's such a big event that in a film you could do it quicker, because you'd have to. In a TV show, it's going to take. You can't suddenly have her going on holiday the next episode, so it's going to take a few episodes to get over it.
Yeah.
So I always knew in retrospect it's going to take quite a while for it to reboot itself.
The timeline is messed up. You don't know whereabouts they are, and then it's like episode 8, and it's like it's been a year, and she's trying to read her audiobook, and that is a heartbreaking scene, because she literally got her
really good,
like
really
good acting.
Season 2 is really good, and also obviously most infamously, I don't know how you'd miss this, that the Samantha, the actress Kim Cattrall, who played Samantha on Sex and the City in the 2 movies, didn't want to return. For various reasons, it's heavily implied and massively rumoured that she didn't get on with the rest of the cast, particularly Sarah Jessica Parker. But she returned for a cameo at the end of season 2, which is, to celebrate 25 years of Sex and the City. And it's lovely.
Yes.
And it's lovely. Very short.
I'm excited to what season 3 brings. Do you think Harry will wait 5 years for Aidan?
For Aidan, yeah. So it ends with... so they, beautifully done, I think. So just to give it an open ending of going, it's will they, won't they?
Yes.
So you could, if they never did another series, you could leave it there.
Yeah.
And she's kind of, I think it's trying to say that he's come back into her life and he's repaired her.
Yes.
And because she's kind of quite independent, and she's going, I finally moved out, because she moves back to her little flat that she was, which is not, I swear it's about 3 times the size.
Right. It looks massive in comparison.
I never quite understood if they did move in, when they...
when they bought the next place.
Did that actually happen? I got confused in the end. If that actually,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know if it actually, she did expand it in the end. But the walls do seem that's at least 5 foot back from where they were.
She's got to fit 18 people around a dinner table.
I know. I was thinking, even I'm talking in the original series and the movies, let alone the new series. Suddenly, like saying, you've got a table of like 500. What's going on? But I think he's coming back into her life to repair her, and so you could end the show there quite easy, and they're kind of all at a nice point.
Well, it's been renewed,
but I'm glad there's a season 3.
So, bring back Alexandra Petrovsky.
Yes,
that'll be the next boyfriend to come back.
Thank you.
And the train thinks so too.
Yay! I think, is Michael Baryshnikov still alive?
I don't know.
He was so hot in the 80s. He was
all right.
Incredible hot. He's okay. Well, what scared me was I think he's 52, 53 is the age they kind of come to, which is how old I am. I do not like
you look better, darling.
Well, I thought I looked younger, which was an odd thing. I watched that episode last night when they were trying to assess his age, and I think in real life he wasn't that age.
Yeah.
He's probably in his 60s, but he's Mikhail Baryshnikov, so he looks fucking incredible. So it's again, it's a very hard role for him to play because he's obviously kind of playing the baddie. You're coming in as a bit like, I've been watching a huge long video about the revival of Frasier and how his character changed from being the coming in as not the bad cop, but like coming in to break up TV's favorite, like Sam and Diane, and then stayed around and became so many different things, and then eventually got his own show.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like, it's very hard to come in and be the bad guy, isn't it? And to be the...
I'm sure he'll probably come back in series at some point, and it'll be Carrie's going, no, I'm better than this.
Yes.
But it's shaking up our usual end to a podcast.
Yes.
Instead of an object today, which character out of Sex and the City or And Just Like That are you, and why?
And why, it varies. I think people, some friends would say I'm Stanford.
Dead.
Is it, well?
Oh no, he's not dead. The actor's dead.
The actor's passed
The
away.
character's a Shinto monk now.
Yes, he is. I think mainly because he's there in the later seasons with a Broadway beautiful boy dancer on his arm.
Yes.
Which is like going like. So I was like sometimes that, but I think I kind of am in a way. But as far as the archetypes, the Charlotte, Samantha, and I think I'm probably Samantha, with a touch of Miranda.
Ooh, yeah. I think character-wise, after all the and just like that, I think I'm Giuseppe.
Giuseppe's the new love interest for Anthony.
Yeah,
and that's in a weird bit. I think Anthony and Stanford getting together was such a gear change. Yeah, because they really do hate each other, and then it was a bit like. But they weren't given a lot of scenes to get together to
develop it. Yeah, it just kind of happened
but off camera. Kind of thing. I think we're used to it now because it's been 10 years since it happened. But like at the time, I was like, "What the hell? They're getting married."
I still think out of the main 4, I don't think I'm 100% Charlotte, but I think I'm probably at 70% there. I think I am a hopeless romantic. I will always believe in love, and I always believe people probably end up together regardless of things being difficult, or you'll always find a way to make it work, which is what I love about Charlotte. Yeah. And actually, fuck it, why not? What object are you today in the Beast Castle today, and why?
Okay.
On the spot.
On the spot. I would be, what would I be? I would be the, oh gosh, that's throwing me slightly because I was going to say the Blu-ray copy of Sex and the City because that's nice on widescreen and remastered. No, seriously. What object would I be in the Beast Castle today? I think I would be a beautiful closet of clothes because Sex and the City has the best fashion on TV.
It does. It's kind of extended from mine. Oh. That's an extension of mine. Please
don't compare my extension to your extension.
I was going to say I'm a pair of $475 Manolo Blahniks.
On the shelf by yourself.
Yes. Forgotten about for months on end.
Oh my word! Yes.
Oh. Yes. On that note, you can close the episode.
There we go,
you witch.
There we go. Well, from me, Bunny Glore, the queen of the cult movies, I'm from Custard Guts 2006. The Beast. it is goodbye for now. We'll be back next week with more City Adventures. I hope you enjoyed our Sex and the City episode. If you'd like to write to us, you can do it on, I can remember,
bunnythebeast69@gmail.com.
How can I forget that? You can write to us that. You can slide into Beast's DMs because everybody else does.
I actually don't anymore.
No, me neither. And I don't get those messages. Actually, unless I know. Anyway, long stories. Moving on very quick.
Anyway, I'm proud to be Custard Guts 2006. I worked hard for that title, and we shall see you all next week.